The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Greetings and welcome once again to Easton 300, a monthly TV show that talks about a lot of good things that happen here in the town of Easton. Since the planning began for the anniversary celebration for the town of Easton, Massachusetts, I'm Dave Clifton. I'm here with Brian Hoffman, my co-host. And Brian, thank you so much for not just co-hosting a show, but we've been doing it for, this is our third year.
Yeah.
Bringing people together once a month to talk about what I think has been a very popular tricentennial celebration.
I couldn't agree more. I think popular is one word, but I think it's also been a very meaningful one for the town, for the residents, for the departments that serve the town, for our elected officials, for the schools. It's amazing how many families, children, and people have been involved. When we started out 3 years ago, I'm not sure any of us really had, a clear vision of what it was going to look like as we went through this year, and it has been nothing short of amazing.
Oh, right you are, Brian. There's been a great, tremendous sense of community. There's also been a nice warm feeling about families coming together, and that's what our theme has been since we started. We spent a couple of meetings thinking about possibilities, and we finalized it with bringing families and community together. Let's get to our guest that joins us today. Annemarie Taylor is her name, and of course we put her in the middle because we wanted to ask her a bunch of questions. Today we're going to talk about some of the final events coming up for the year 2025. On October 11th, we have a car show. That's a partnership event at Borderland State Park. That'll take place from 9 to 2 p.m. Thank you, Dale Thistle, for coordinating that event. We hope to have about 300 cars that'll be there. And of course, along with the cars come lots of people that will enjoy what we think will be a terrific car show. We can't have a celebration without going to Borderland State Park. But in the evening on that same day, October 11th, from 6 to 9 p.m., we're going to have what we think is going to be a giant bonfire. That's going to be coordinated by our fire chief, Justin Alexander. And with that bonfire is going to be a fabulous barbecue. Folks, get there early. It's going to be on the house. There aren't too many towns that have a free barbecue. And that's going to be everything from soup to nuts. And we also are going to present something special. It's going to be a little flashlight from the Tricentennial Committee. And this flashlight, of course, inside it's a pen, and it's also something that will fit in with the theme for the bonfire, which is let's light up the celebration. Between the bonfire and the flashlights. And when people leave, we're going to put the stadium lights on, certainly so people can get back
For
to
safety,
their cars.
sure.
Someone said to me, can't they just put their flashlight on to get to the car? But we're going to have 1,000 of these to pass out, folks. We're expecting a huge crowd. And again, it's a great opportunity for us to enjoy not only Easton, Massachusetts, because it is a very special community. Let's talk about the bonfire. That's coming up first after the car show. And that bonfire is going to be at the high school complex. And of course, it's a little different than the block party, the Family Fun Festival, and a bunch of other things that have happened during the year. It's an opportunity to bring your blankets and bring your chairs, sit down and relax with your neighbors and your family members, and enjoy a good meal, and at the same time enjoy some outstanding music by two popular bands that'll be there. So there'll be music all evening. I'm going to be on the team that stays overnight to watch the fire simmer down. And I guess I didn't have to pay for a ticket to stay overnight. The committee said, go ahead, Dave.
Sure.
Stay overnight,
Knock
stay on
yourself
top
out.
of this.
Yeah,
So,
but you know, that's the second time you mentioned it's on the house. There's no cost, and I think it's important to. And I want to get to Annemarie because you know she's our special guest, and I want to talk to her as well. But this, you know, we've called them signature events throughout this whole 3 years of planning and doing. And this is really a hallmark event to me, not just Hallmark cards and that type of thing, but it's kind of the pinnacle of what we've been doing all year. And when you think of a fire that large, and what it does is it brings warmth, it brings light, and it brings people together. And that's what we've been doing for the past 12 months, and that's what the committee has been doing. And the committee, peopled by folks like Annemarie Taylor and Amanda Hurley on her team, it's absolutely amazing what's been done. So I'm going to turn it to Annemarie just for a real quick question. Did you know what you were getting into when you said yes a couple of years ago?
Well, I really didn't. The thing I knew is because Amanda and I work as a team, and we've done thousands of events and weddings, every kind of event you can imagine. So we thought we had some skills that might be useful. But what we didn't know was the friends and the lifelong friends that we were going to make on the committee, the volunteers, the sense of friendship and the calling around and meeting for coffee and meeting for little dinners and just the closeness. And I don't even really know how to put it, but it's really been almost a magical experience. Not even the work aside, but just you want to go to a meeting. It's not a chore,
Right.
you know, because you've met so many just wonderful people from all different walks, and everybody's doing a job, and if you need help, they're right there to help you.
it's interesting, Annemarie, that you say
that's the
that.
best part of it for myself, and to speak for Amanda too, that we just, you know, not only, we just love it.
And even the committee members, I know for a number of years we've talked about people have different thoughts and ideas, don't necessarily all agree with each other, but we come back again at the next meeting and we all work together. And that's the bottom line, is the celebration.
Yeah.
Right.
And we always talk, Brian, about 10 volunteers when we first started. And then it went to 40. And now there's hundreds of volunteers that have actually been involved in the celebration, folks. It's 35 just to run a parade.
Yeah.
You can imagine how many volunteers we had for the block party.
Yeah.
And it's just lots of people in town. They have ideas of things they'd like to do. But let's get back to the gala, which is scheduled for December 27th. The coordinators, Annemarie Taylor, and of course Amanda Hurley. They're the leaders of putting this together.
Yeah.
It's going to be at Stonehill College.
Yes.
We've had an idea and seen what the menu's going to be. What can you say about the sense of cooperation from Stonehill College?
Well, we are very blessed to have Stonehill College in this community. They're a big part of the community. They've been wonderful to work with. So it will be on December 27th at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. is cocktail hour. And then we'll go into a dinner. And it's just going to be a great night. We're not going to do a lot of formalities. Through a generous donation of Avery Lee Williams, we're able to put this on. He left in his will money for the gala, so not all of it, but a big portion of it, which is amazing. So it's going to be, what I say, from 6 to 11. We have tickets on sale. So far, we're up to 420. So if you're thinking about it, please order. You can go to easton300.org, and there is a form. I know nobody likes to fill out forms. It takes like 2 seconds, name, address, email, how many tickets you want. There is no online payment. So there's 2 things you can do. You can put that you want to pay by credit card, and I will get in touch with you and take a credit card payment right over the phone and send you a receipt. And you can also mail a check made out to the Town of Easton. Check is made out to Town of Easton. Mail it to the Easton Tricentennial Gala, and it's P.O. Box 300, Easton, just Easton, Mass. 02334. So that's where the P.O. Box zip code is. So we're going to have a DJ, Baltazar, who is from Easton. He's great. I've worked with him hundreds of times on weddings, and he'll also be the master of ceremonies. We're going to have a 360 photo booth. We're going to have past hors d'oeuvres. We're going to have a lot of things. It's just going to be, everybody's worked so hard and all this year and volunteered and all of that. And so we just really want to have a fun night. And there are some donors who have donated tickets, who are buying for people also that, they may not be able to go. So we have Dale, one of our committee members, in charge of kind of reaching out to the community for these tickets that have been generously donated by some of the large donors for the signature events that were gifted tickets that may not be able to use them. So other than that, I think it's going to be great. But definitely, if you don't know how to fill out the form, call me. So my number is 508-944-4971. It's in everything on social media is my phone number. You can go to the website, and it's on there as well. Go to the gala, click on it. It'll bring you to the form. We'll bring you to my number. If you don't know how to fill out the form, which some people don't, I'll take your information, I'll fill it out for you, and take your payment. We will be selling tickets at the bonfire as well, so you can take your payments right there. We can take a check. So however you want to do it.
Why don't you repeat your telephone number once again?
It's
Annemarie?
508-944-4971.
And my understanding is that Father John, the president of Stony Hill College, will do a welcome. And I know you're an alumni member.
Yep.
What a special guy he is.
He really is.
Yes.
We were fortunate to have him on the show here months back. He is truly, a member of the community. He lives here in Easton. The president's house is right on the campus grounds. He was born and raised in Rhode Island. He's a local New England, born and bred guy. Great sense of humor, great sense of spirituality as an asset to whatever community, whatever gathering he joins. So if you've never met Father John Denning and you get a chance to say hello at this event or any other time, your life will be better by doing that, because he's an amazing guy. And it's important to note too, and we touched on this a little bit earlier, David, is that this is now our 9th signature event, I think, throughout the course of the year. And all of the other events have been free to the public. Yes. All of the other events have not cost any individual a nickel to show up and enjoy a sense of community, some amazing stuff, whether it's the kickoff event in the middle of January that pulled almost 3,000 people, and we all thought, what?
Oh my God, I know. So Amanda and I ran that event, and we were standing in the Sally Blair Ames field house.
Yep.
And
wondering if anybody was going to show up.
Right. And I forget what time it started. So we expected maybe 400 people. And we always try and give something free away, whether it's some sort of food. And, it was a free event. And So we're standing in the gym, you know, checking all the vendors, making sure everything was all set up and correct, and Shovel Town was ready, and we were all ready, and
They
all
opened
of
the
that.
doors and
And all of a sudden we went out to the lobby. We're like, I don't know if anybody's going to show up. Oh my God. We were like panicked. We go to the lobby and it was like a mass flood of people just coming through the door. And it never stopped
it never did.
all day long.
It
We had
never did.
shuttles because it was cold out. People had to park, you know, Stonehill's a fairly large campus,
is.
and some of
It
those
is.
parking lots, and it was
Yep.
just, people were so kind. There were long lines to get on things, and they didn't care. They were
Nobody
just so
cared.
kind.
They were
and-
happy.
And Dave and Dale were the greeters,
Yep.
and it was just
In their colonial garb.
We were thrilled, and we're like, oh my God, how many people are here?
Yeah.
We had no idea we were going to get that kind of turnout.
And it has been that way for every event
Yes.
since the parade.
Yes.
How many units did we have, Dave? 32, 33, 34 units in the parade. The parade itself
It
was
was a
longer than the
definite,
parade route.
2-hour plus parade.
Yeah, yeah.
We had 6 divisions.
Yeah, and the point is what you were talking about, Annemarie, in terms of the friends you've made, the people who have just all of a sudden raised their hand and said, "Let me help." That's community. That's what this was all about.
Right.
I remember vividly David and I talking close to 3 years ago, and hearing the number that we would probably have to come up with in terms of the dollar amount to support all of these events. And it was rather grandiose thinking. We all knew that at the beginning, like, whoa, boy, this is going to be something. And to hear that number and think, oh my gosh, how are we going to do it? And then seeing how many people, how many corporations, how many local businesses, how many community leaders got involved and said, we're going to make this happen, and did, is one of the most amazing things you could ever be part of.
It
And
was
so I think
truly
you're absolutely
amazing.
right. It's something we'll never forget.
I know.
Just being involved. And I don't think the town's ever going to forget it either. They're still talking about the winter event, and that
tell you
was
what,
only 10 months ago.
What
Right,
I'm hearing is that the folks in town want to see some of these events repeated.
I've heard that too. It's like, what
talk
are you going
about-
to do next year?
And somebody on
It's so funny you said that, because Amanda and I were working together last week, and we're working together again tomorrow, and we're like, what are we going to do? Like after this?
All
like,
the free time you're going to have.
but what it fulfills us in
Yeah,
a way.
sure
It gives
does,
you a
sure
wonderful
does.
feeling to do something for the town, and I'm like, what are we going to do? How are we going to see our people? There's got to be something else we can be involved in to give back. So it really is a feeling that I think if you asked anybody on the
sure.
committee or any of the volunteers that work with us very closely.
And Chris
that-
Ventresco is in the process of
Isn't he
putting
wonderful?
together,
Yeah.
you know, a book that will commemorate everything that has happened with incredible photographs
There's
and
going to be about
you know, the
200 pages
timeline.
in that book.
Yeah, yeah. So
I just
it's,
ordered mine.
yeah, it's nothing short of, you know, stupendous in terms of what has happened. And
Right.
you know, David, you've put in the lion's share of time, you and Dale and members of the committee, and as I kind of refer to myself as a backbencher. You know, I'm not on the committee, but I'm kind of on the backbench, and I'll jump in and help when I think I can. But when I think of all of the collective hours of energy and effort and wisdom and decision making that went into it. And yes, David, you mentioned, you know, not everybody always agrees on everything to begin with. And that, I think, is really good ideas come from,
Yes.
because you've got more input and somebody saying, well, what about this? And could we do that?
Right.
And then collectively, the best decision
Right.
comes out of that. And I think what we've seen over the last 10 months is the proof of that process, that lots of people doing good really can do some good things.
It makes
Right.
for a healthy decision.
Sure does. Sure
And
does.
the other thing is, there's been a lot of times where different coordinators have gotten through halfway through their event, or you know, even us, and there's things that come up that you just didn't foresee, and you might have to pivot that whole event.
Yeah.
And that has been done
Sure.
in certain events where everything's locations had to pivot, or things you could do had to pivot, and that's where everybody got together and was like, okay, well, this is the way we can do it. With the block party,
And the whole thing
originally that was
pivots.
going to be downtown, and then whatever was realized why it wasn't going to work well enough, and they were able to have it at Governor Ames. That was a great decision because it was so much room.
It absolutely was.
And the kickoff event got changed, went to Stonehill College.
That's true.
So things happen, and you do have to make a pivot. And I guess the magic word is flexibility. We have to be flexible.
Yeah.
We have to work with each other for the best interests of the town. And this is indeed a very special community. And I'm absolutely thrilled. My vice chair, Dale Carister, who's absolutely terrific, he asked me a question. He said, Dave, what is your hope after this celebration is over? Do you have anything that you're thinking about, that you have in mind? And I said, my thought is that this community will continue with our theme, that this town will come together and join forces and maybe continue some of the events that we've had. That this community will do things with their families and their neighborhoods and enjoy the town of Easton, Massachusetts. Yes, there may be some negativity that happens in every community, but this is a very special town. And Dale did say to me, good answer.
Yeah.
The fact is that that's what we're here for, is to bring people together to run a good show. And we want it to be permanent, not just the year 2025. And the history in this town is amazing.
It's unbelievable. I think one of the biggest impacts in kind of the smallest way that was made this year, because so many people have come up to me, was the blankets that were donated
to the high school
by
kids.
Will Work for the class of 2025. I have more parents come up to me and going, because their child has gone off to college now, and they're like, it's sitting on my couch, it looks lovely, that just loved it. And we were lucky enough to have some extras that went to school committee. Alicia got one, and that's something I think was so great, one of Mr. Nixon, to give the donation for that. And that's a tradition that I would like. I brought it up in a meeting. I would like to continue that.
With every succeeding
Yes,
graduating class.
Yes, we started at the Tricentennial. I think it would be a great idea because it was so well received and so appreciated. The kids were, the adults, everybody, the school committee, the teachers. When Nancy DeLuca retired, we gave her the first one, the sample one that was made, and she was so thrilled. And I think that's a tradition that we should
I've had neighbors
talk
show
about
me pictures of the blanket draped over the end of their kid's bed in their dorm.
Yes.
You know,
oh,
they're
that's
just like,
so
they got a
nice.
little piece of home.
Right.
And we thank Mr. Nixon for the donation,
So
and we
much.
thank Ken Michael, one of our active committee members, for recruiting the donation.
Right.
And it's things like that bring it all together. It's something that they'll remember. I know
Yes.
some students have taken the blankets off to college. And of course, we want them to remember some of the history. It's amazing when you take a look at these town buildings here in the town. And we're fortunate enough to have two of the Ames family members as part of our committee.
Yes.
And we call them honorary co-chairs of our celebration. But to think that we started with 10 and we went to 40, and now there's hundreds of people.
There really are.
And I think they're all going to be at the Gala, final event of the year.
Hope so.
There's a lot coming.
I know the Annemarie, we've said thank you to you and Amanda so many times that we just want to say it on camera, that you and Amanda have stepped up to your leadership roles.
And we shouldn't leave out your third teammate there, who does all the work with you. Why am I blanking on her name?
For
Amanda
merchandise.
Yeah, no,
Karen.
Karen.
Karen
yeah.
Hetzel,
Karen
Karen and
Hetzel.
Tom, they're
Thank you.
wonderful.
Senior block there for a
Yeah,
moment. Yeah,
they're
Karen is
wonderful,
terrific.
right.
And
Yes.
it's another good example of people saying, hey, how can I help?
Absolutely.
You know, I can do this and I can do that. Can I help? You know?
Absolutely.
It's-
It's really been a pleasure and an honor for us to be able to give back.
Well, what can we ask the general audience out there? Here we are, three of us been involved with the Easton 300 celebration. Is there something that we would like to see you do? We'd like to see you go to the bonfire, bring your family, bring your chairs and your blankets,
Yep.
and we'd like to see you attend the gala. Make your reservation. It's going to be something special. It'll be at Stonehill College on December 27th. There'll be plenty of parking. We're going to provide some buses
So
to
we,
transport people
right.
from the parking
From the
lot
parking lots,
to
yep.
the athletic
So
facility.
we are going to have shuttles. We're also going to have valet parking, which will be really nice. The tickets are $100. We tried to keep them as low as we could. We did a 3-month special on that. And October 15th, they are going to go up to $125. And then I believe the cutoff is somewhere in November that Stonehill wants us to have the final counts.
Yeah.
So-
Food service needs that, and that's understandable.
Yes. Because when you're serving, like I said, right now we're at 420. I expect it to go up substantially from that. So you can buy a single ticket for yourself. You can buy, 2 tickets. Tables of 10 will be reserved. And then everything else will be open seating, which is a really nice way to just fill in a table and make some new friends. So that's good too. There'll be dancing, and the menu is wonderful. It's going to be filet with the baked stuffed shrimp. We have a wonderful delicata squash with Brussels sprouts and lentils for a vegetarian, which is vegetarian, vegan, dairy-free, all of that. So we're meeting all the dietary restrictions. There is something to fill out there and on the form as well. So we tried to keep the ticket price as low as we could. It is cocktail attire, so it is going to be a beautiful event. So we're very excited about it.
And I know before we take a short break, I know if someone that wanted to buy a table, they just want to know where to pick it up. Only kidding. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and talk more about all the events that have taken place this year. I'm Dave Clifton, here along with Brian Hoffman. Thank you for joining us here on ECAT, Easton Community Access TV.
In 2025, Easton Community Access Television is the place to be when it comes to all things Easton, Mass. We also have a variety of other content to enjoy. We have 4 different channels that we program regularly. There's the public channel, the government channel, the education channel, and the essentials channel. I'm going to quickly go over why each exists and why you should tune in. The public channel consists of content created by community volunteers. That includes popular shows like Topic Time with Harrison Young, The Ron Van Dam Show, and Discover Easton with Gail Devins. The government channel consists of town meetings and town government related content. That's where to find live select board meetings, school committee meetings, and the like. The education channel consists of all content created by and for the different schools in town. ECAT is proud to be the home of Oliver Ames High School sports, and you can find a vast majority of their home games live on education. Aside from that, you can see content created by and pertaining to Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School, as well as Stonehill College here. Lastly, the Essentials channel consists of all the content we create in-house. That includes our weekly news program, Easton News, the Old Time Movie Show, Eaton with ECAT, as well as our new show, Expedition Easton. We also use this channel to stream live events for when our other channels are being used. For example, let's say Oliver Ames has 2 games occurring at the same time. Chances are, one game is on education and the other is on essentials. There are many ways to tune into our programming. Since we're a cable station at our core, let's start with that. Eastoners who have access to Verizon or Comcast can access the programs I already talked about at the channels listed on your screen now. Not from Easton? Or maybe you cut the cord years ago? No problem at all. You can watch our channels live on our website. There, you can navigate to the channel you're looking for and tune right in. It is 2025, so we are all over social media. Our YouTube page serves as the hub of all of our on-demand content. If you want to watch something immediately, like the premiere of Expedition Easton, our YouTube is the best place to do so. We also go live on YouTube when there's a lot going on in Easton one particular night. You can also find live streams on our Facebook page. Facebook is a great place to find out what's on the docket for ECAT that night. We're also on Instagram. You can find us at each of those social media sites by scanning the respective QR code right now. "2025 is set to be the biggest year of ECAT's existence. We're celebrating 15 years while the Town of Easton celebrates its tricentennial. Please reach out to the email on your screen now to find out what we do. Last thing, we are a cable station at our core, but our content is for everyone. Even if you're not from Easton, there's something here for everybody. We've released short films, documentaries, reality shows, and much more to come. Celebrate 2025 with ECAT.
Welcome back to the second half of Easton 300, a chance for the Town of Easton to celebrate its 300th anniversary. I don't know how many times I've said during the course of the year, happy anniversary, Town of Easton, Massachusetts, with my bullhorn at most of the events. But with me right now, my co-host, Brian Hoffman, Annemarie Taylor, who's been the coordinator with Amanda Hurley at two different major events. The opening event at Stonehill College and the closing event also at Stonehill College, which will be the Gala. I want to go back to the bonfire for a minute.
Sure.
We want to certainly give a special thank you to Roach Brothers for donating the food for the bonfire. And of course, that's on October 11th from 6 to 9 p.m. We also want to thank the Easton Lions Club. Their motto is we care, and they certainly do, because they also share their time and their talent to help serve and cook the food at the high school complex. So folks, save those dates. We're looking forward to it. Not only do we want to thank all the volunteers that give their time and talent, but we also want to thank all the sponsors
Absolutely.
for each signature event,
Yep.
for the sponsorship events. There's so many people involved in the celebration. There could be someone that goes around giving historic speeches on everything that's going on. I'm talking about Ed Hands.
Yep.
Everybody has a part and a role that they play. It could be someone like Ken Wood, who gets in charge of buses and transportation while everybody's enjoying the event.
He does a great
He's
job.
out in the cold making sure that the transportation takes place and putting signs up and taking them down.
Yep.
Now, he's a guy that's given a lot to the Town of Easton over the years,
Yes.
and we thank you, Ken Wood. But let's talk for a minute about our committee. We got a committee of 10 that was appointed by the Select Board back in December of 2022.
Yes.
And one of those members was a member of the Select Board. And at that time, we decided the leadership responsibilities, the secretary, the treasurer, the vice chair, or the co-chairs, or whatever we did back then. And the committee members came across. Nobody expected when they joined this committee that they were going to go to 80-plus meetings. People might not have joined back then if we said that, but it took this many meetings to kind of stay on top of things. And people have been so dedicated to participating. But we got a lot of events that have already taken place,
We do.
very successful. Let's talk for a minute, if we may, about the kickoff event. We already mentioned that we were surprised at the turnout.
Yes.
We were surprised how it ended up with lots of people exhausted from working it and bringing the community together. And people came with their schedules. They were looking on the way out the door to see what's next.
See what's next.
And
Yeah,
how lucky we were to have bus transportation because it was cold out that day.
absolutely
very
was.
cold
It was
out.
quite cold.
Yes.
And you know, it wasn't like everybody showed up at once and left at once. The place was still pretty darn full at the end. It wasn't like people came and went. They were coming and going all day long. Families would see friends, neighbors, somebody they haven't seen. It was really like a reunion. I saw families seeing somebody they hadn't seen for 3, 4, 5 years because they used to be in the neighborhood and then moved to a different town in Easton, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, nice to see you. They were gathering in clusters all over. I mean, that floor holds either 6 or 8 full basketball courts. It's a big, big, sports complex, the Sally Blair Eames Sports Complex. And yet it was turned into this incredible landscape of things for the kids, things for the adults. The food lines were handled beautifully. Everything. I mean, the kids had to wait for their turn to throw, blown up axes, in an axe throwing thing for little kids. But nobody minded.
Nobody
They all got a
complained.
chance to play.
No.
And bouncy houses. We had was it the Toe Jam band that was playing for the kids?
Toe Jam
had the
puppet
kids up and
band.
jumping all over that
Loved
place.
it. And they even did extra time for us.
They did. They stayed.
And they didn't even charge us. They
Yeah.
loved the response. The Shoveltown Brewery, my daughter came, who's graduated OA in 2005, and she was in Shoveltown she just came to support me. She was in the brewery area all day because she met this one she went to school with and this one she went to school with and this, she just had a whole class reunion there. She had a great time.
And I think that's a great way to look at it. It was like a neighborhood reunion, a community reunion. So many people reconnecting in the middle of the winter when you don't expect to see people. And I think that set the tone for the rest of the events coming up, that this is going to be fun. You're going to be among folks you love.
We knew at that first event when there were so many people there, the coordinators at the meeting, we knew, and everybody was there that was on the board, that we had to up our game and plan for more people.
It made for a few more of those 80 meetings.
Each event.
Yes.
And we actually started meeting every 2 weeks, but we knew at that first event that the other events were going to be extremely well attended. So that kind of set the tone for the whole thing. And it was funny because we just did the Harvest Fair, and we did the Harvest Fair last year, and we really didn't sell too much, but nobody really knew what we were.
Right.
We had beautiful merchandise, and this year it was like, oh, I have the blanket. What else? Oh, I get that. Oh, I'll get that. I've got this. And so everybody, even if they already had a lot of merchandise, they came to say hi. Because we're always the ones there. Hey, how you doing? So it was really nice. But that first event, again, the response was so overwhelming that the coordinator for the next event knew that all the totals that were given had to go up. Like the totals of food and whatever.
And the totals of volunteers. We needed more people because things were getting bigger. Nice problem to have.
Yes.
And certainly we want to thank the Sharon Credit Union and our sponsors for putting that together and jumping on our bandwagon. Let's talk about April 19th, the Family Fun Day at Langwater Farm. Again,
That was great.
it was the intention of our committee to move around to different sites and locations for a year-round celebration. Thank you, Karen and Tom Hetzel, for taking the lead as coordinators and working together with the staff at Langwater. What a fun time that was for all the kids in town that came with their parents. Everything from ice cream to pizza to hay wagon rides. What a great event that was.
And Kate and Kevin, who own Langwater, the most gracious, community hosts. It was like, what else can we do? How else can we make this better?
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, it was, again, you've
guys were-
gone from the middle of the winter to the middle of the summer with the same result. A lot of people
Right.
coming together, enjoying it, celebrating.
There were a lot
Yeah.
of people there.
Yeah.
And wasn't Langwater, or did they donate ice cream? The ice cream line was
Well,
hundreds long.
Yeah, it was.
Hundreds long, but nobody complained.
No.
You saw the cars that were parked there.
Yep, all over the
It
place.
gave you an indication of
Yeah.
what we're going to expect from all the events
Right.
that took
Yeah.
place. So
Yeah.
that was our first partnership event. It was as big as
It was
a
huge.
signature event,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of community spirit.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then, of course, we had the Art and Cultural Festival.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that
And they came out in the rain.
Yep.
They came out in the rain. We had a little taste of Easton. We had some restaurants there in a tent. I think we had 2 tents, one with crafts and one with the restaurants. And there were people who stayed in that restaurant tent all day.
Yeah, I know it.
They loved
They
it.
made a little foray into the building to see some of the art crafts
Right, right.
and stuff, and then came back out and said, okay, now I'll have some of that.
Yeah, the restaurants were thrilled.
Yeah.
And it was raining, and people came out in the rain. They didn't care.
And
It
thank
was
you,
a nice
Joan
event.
Lundgren
Joan,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
Diane
Diane
Lasati.
Yeah.
They were the coordinators of this event. It was indoors, it was outdoors. And of course, you got a good chance to see the Oak Ames Memorial Hall. That took place on April 26th. And again, I was amazed with the weather the way it was to see the crowd that we got. And if we didn't have the weather conditions, we would have had double the crowd.
I know it. But I think Annemarie's right, because people had seen the quality of what they were involved in, and the earlier ones, little rain didn't stop them. They said, I don't want to miss
Stop
this.
them.
I want to see
Nope.
what's going on.
Yes.
And yeah, I think the crafters, and there were a bunch of local artists
Yes.
who had some amazing things.
Really wonderful things.
You know, I learned about people who live here in town, and we've been here a long time, but people who've been here in town for years and are artists and artisans and creators of some incredible stuff I didn't know about. You know, all of a sudden it's like, wow, you're like a half a mile from me. I didn't even know this existed in the town. So
Right.
it was continually finding out more and more about the quality of living here and what it means.
And I think it was it Polar who gave us all those beverages? I mean, so many beverages. People were like, oh, what do I owe you? We're like, no, it's free,
Yeah.
take it. So it was wonderful, the donations.
Let's talk about June 14th, which was Flag Day here in the Commonwealth, and a special day here in Easton, Massachusetts. We had a special flag ceremony in the afternoon, and that was on the Val Moscato Stadium field. And we not only had people marching with giant flags, and it showed how patriotic people are, but it was something very special to see a flyover 2 or 3 times. We thank the Massachusetts State Police for providing the helicopter. I thought it was going to land. It got so close, but the people enjoyed that.
They did.
And it was a great salute to the veterans here in the town of Easton as well.
Yep.
It showed how patriotic people are. But that was only one of the events. We had some concerts that took place. And of course, we had a giant fireworks display.
Oh, it was amazing.
And so you want to know, folks, that we paid $25,000 for the fireworks, thanks to our sponsor.
Right?
And Alex Pires,
Yep.
a former resident,
Yeah. And a
went
very
to high
good guy.
school at Oliver
Just
Ames.
a very good guy. Yeah.
And it was a $35,000 show for $25,000.
Yeah. The fireworks company came through great on
It
that.
was, I'm a fireworks
finales.
junkie, and
Are
that
you
was,
really?
I am. I love fireworks, and It was one of the most amazing displays I have ever seen. And I have not seen fireworks in Easton actually since I believe it was you who hosted them for the Children's Museum at the Easton Country Club.
Yes.
We used to have them.
Yes, we did.
And
Yep.
people would
We would bring in
they would come in.
pyrotechnic company most of the time. I think most of the time that we had them was a really well-run group from New Hampshire that were all firefighters.
Oh,
So, you know, they really knew what they were doing. They were very
Right.
safety conscious. We never had an issue with that.
Right.
And those were pretty good.
they were good.
But this just
This
blew,
was
blew it away.
spectacular.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
David, you mentioned 25,000 we paid, which was donated $35,000 in value because the fireworks company really thought that this was just an amazing thing for them to have a chance to be a part of. But it just underscores that all of these events were costly to run. I mean,
Yes.
appropriately. You know, you're paying for real high quality, whether it's entertainment or food or food. And I still hear every now and then, you know, amongst folks in town, like, gee, you know, they're worried that the town was spending taxpayer dollars for all of these events. And I don't know how many times we can say it, but there were no tax dollars expended on any of these events. All of them were paid for, subsidized by, and supported by individuals, families, companies, corporations, benefactors who don't even live in Easton anymore. I mean, Alex Pyries,
That's right.
he's a talented attorney, OA grad, lives in Delaware. Every time there's something in Easton, you know Alex Pyries is going to be at the doorstep going, what can I do? And so the fact that people have been able to, thousands and thousands of people, as we know, have been able to enjoy all these events, and it hasn't cost them anything in terms of, you know, town money being expended. It is the town's people that are supporting this, and that's
Right.
what makes
and
it
we
amazing.
also want to thank the Bank of Easton.
Oh,
They
my gosh,
provided
yes.
the picnic, the concerts,
Yep.
and they played a major role. We thank you, President John, and the Treasurer Jeanette, for their cooperation in making that happen.
Sure.
You talk about having an event. We had major events, a few of them just on one day. And of course, Jessica Zimmerman was the coordinator of the picnic with all kinds of games and events
Yep.
for families. And we certainly thank the folks that were involved with the flag ceremony. That was also the Bank of Easton. And what comes next? July 12th, one of the largest parades the town of Easton has had for many, many years.
Yeah.
It's been a while since the town's had a parade and fireworks. We're happy that a committee of volunteers came together,
Yep.
appointed by the select board to plan and prepare. And I got the feeling from some families in town, we don't have to go out of town to celebrate. We can now stay in town.
Yeah.
That seems to be
Yep.
the new feeling. But the parade was something very special.
Was incredible.
It
It was absolutely incredible.
just lining up the parade, there was some confusion, but it finally kicked off. But when you got tractors and trailers and 19 floats
And how many
trying
fire
to line
apparatus. You know?
in the
And
parade,
again, we had issues, we thought, with the weather, but the day stayed clear. And at the beginning of the parade, we were told, well, the State Police Aviation Unit has some concerns about whether or not they've got enough ceiling to do it. So we're, you know, Dan Anderson and I were kind of commiserating, well, you know, that's okay. It's still going to be a great parade. And the weather cleared and the State Police, you know, Aviation Unit was there flying back and forth over the parade and just thrilling people.
and to
Thrilling
see the
people.
Clydesdales
Yeah.
involved.
Yep. Yep.
To also thank Corey Honan. He was the chair of the parade. The parade committee was a large committee. They had maybe 15 to 20 that attended their bi-weekly meetings.
The planning
But
meetings.
then they
yep.
had another 20 or so that had to show up the day of the parade for lining up
Yep.
a huge parade like that. So
And there we go again with David Field from DPW, Justin Alexander from the fire department,
Police
Chief
chief.
Boone. You just, it's almost inconceivable to see that kind of harmony among municipal department heads,
Right.
because all we ever hear about are the distasteful parts of government and how or whether you ever get agreement on things. This has been nothing short of amazing. The whole year long, those folks have been involved in just about every event in terms of public safety, transportation, logistics, roadways, and we haven't had any of those issues. None, zero, issues in terms of the public infrastructure and how it supports all of these events.
the antique cars, the motorcycles,
Oh,
I mean,
gosh,
the
yeah.
list goes on and on. If you can imagine
And the folks, the
tractor trailers trying to turn around at the beginning of the
Yeah.
parade and people couldn't get through.
and the little miniature cars, why am I blocking on it? The Shriners.
Shriners,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I saw kids literally running to keep up with those Shriners cars because they were so engaging, because they wanted to watch them, turn around and wheel around and see what was going. I mean, it was. I have to admit, when there's a parade, I'm kind of a little kid too, and it was a blast. It was
And
great.
the
And Dan
fact
and
that it
Jamie
was
did such a good
replayed
job.
back, and
Oh,
I
they
cannot
always do.
thank enough and express appreciation on behalf of our entire committee, including the select board, to ECAT,
Yeah.
Easton Community Access
Yep.
Television, for covering all of these events,
Yep.
so that maybe there are people at home that physically can't get to
Yep.
the parade route or
Yep.
to the fireworks, but they can see them on the air.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of special for us. to
Absolutely
Right.
was. And to
make
do a
sure
live
that happens.
telecast, from a location like that with all of that stuff. I mean, we take this for granted, I think, ECAT and all the stuff that they do. And we shouldn't.
But anyways, there's lots of events that have taken place during the course of the year as we come to the end of our program. And again, Annemarie, you and Amanda have been absolutely terrific.
Thank you.
And you've been flexible in terms of all the requests that come up periodically. I am so proud of the committee and all the volunteers and all the sponsors who have been so generous
So generous.
in providing the funds to make this celebration happen. Someone said, this doesn't happen every year. The fact is, it happened in 2025, and in order to have all these things, there's a tariff that goes with it. And it's not just for the expenses for the event and the bands and the marches and all the stuff that happens, but it costs money to provide public safety.
Yep.
It costs money to clean up and to set up for all these events. When you have large crowds come together in a community, you have to make an effort to do the best you can to keep it safe.
Right.
And I can truly say that this has been a safe celebration. Some final comments, Annemarie, that you'd like to make?
Well, I hope you'll all be coming to the Gala. I think it's going to be a great night. All these town people that they're mentioning, the fire chief, the police chief, the superintendent of schools, the select board, they're all coming and they're excited. I've talked to every single one of them, and just some people are just coming all by themselves, and they'll meet friends there. And I've got neighborhoods, the table names of their neighborhoods are coming. I've got people that go to a restaurant, the restaurant name is coming. We've got generous people on our board that are buying tables for people. They know that, $100 is a lot for them. So we just, I'm just talking to everybody, and everybody is so excited. So it's easton300.org, or call me directly and fill out the form, and there's people I, have called several times trying to get a hold of, but everybody's busy. I apologize, there's no online payment. The town just couldn't facilitate that. But I don't mind talking to everybody, so definitely give me a call. But get your request in, hopefully before October 15th, so you can pay the $100, not the $125. And the list is growing and growing and growing. So every day I'm calling people and following up with a text if you're a texter. And the easiest way, I think, is to mail in a check. Then you avoid the credit card fees. But if you want to, it's a small fee. But if you want to pay by credit card, company credit card, whatever, that's fine. And I think it's just, we just want a fun night.
And thank you very much, Annemarie, for your leadership and for being here on the air with us today. I wanted to mention briefly the last event that we had was the block party scheduled on September 6th. Thank you to Dan and Jamie Anderson for coordinating what I thought was one terrific block party. You talk about our theme, bringing people together. It happened at the block party. It took lots of volunteers. All you had to do was look around the block party and see all the orange shirts. And you could tell that, yes, Dave, you're right. There are hundreds of volunteers involved in this year-round celebration. So I thank all the people that were involved in that event. And how about you, Brian, some final comments?
I'm going to save that orange shirt and love what it means to me, having worn it a couple of times at a couple of different things, just being a volunteer and being involved. No, I think, I've probably said it more often than I think, but this whole thing was about community, and everything that has happened has just reverberated with that same sense of we're all in this together. We may not all agree on things in terms of things we think are tasteful or not, what our political leanings are or not, but this has all been about community, and that kind of rises above all those individual differences, and we get one huge, very active piece of humanity that says, this is worth celebrating. 300 years is 300 years, and I told you, if you're here for the 350th, I'll be right there with you.
Me too.
And if I'm not there, folks, I intend to fly over.
Yeah.
The fact is that it's been an absolutely terrific year. It's not over yet. I certainly would like to thank the Dorenzo Charitable Foundation for sponsoring the upcoming event, which is something that we're looking forward to. And of course, that's the bonfire. It'll be at the high school complex. It also involves a barbecue, and of course, 2 bands will be playing. And don't forget to get your flashlight when you arrive on the scene.
Exactly.
It'll be marked Easton 300.
Yep.
Just a little remembrance of lighting up the evening, and of course, the entire celebration.
And let's not be fooled by the fun summer weather we're having now. It's supposed to be a little cooler then, so dress warmly, bring a blanket,
Or come visit,
whatever.
come visit
Annemarie and get a blanket.
merchandise booth and get a tricentennial blanket before they run out, which will be quickly. They're
It should be a
gorgeous.
fabulous event.
Yes, we have sweatshirts also.
And I know Chief Alexander is absolutely excited
He's
to be
so
able to fire it up. I
excited.
mean,
He's done like 12 bonfires,
Yeah.
he said, at different places.
yeah. So he's looking
I've
forward
never
to this.
been to one, so I'm super excited.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's show called Easton 300. Let me say, go forth to serve. Do it with a smile on your face. And if you're going to do something good to help someone out, folks, do it with the dignity that it deserves, and do it with a smile on your face. Happy anniversary, Town of Easton, Massachusetts. Thank you.